All right.
We're live.
Might want to give it a.
Few
It takes like a
listen
minute
people.
or so to catch up.
Yeah, there's like a lag. A lag.
I'm usually saying something weird like Greek underwear or something, or
Right when we come on, right when the
Greek
episode
or
starts.
geek underwear?
something underwear. Oh, there
Oh,
you go.
okay.
See?
Okay.
Something underwear.
All
All right.
right, so you can start it.
Go
We can
ahead.
start
Yeah,
it.
go
Welcome to
ahead.
Art Pizza, the podcast where we give tips and tricks to artists of all experience levels. I was about to say all ages and experience levels, but we're not an all ages show. Ed is not child friendly,
I am not child
It's a
friendly
not
at
safe for
all.
work podcast.
Exactly.
not safe for work.
There you go. Is that on right? I think so.
Yes, we are seeing his Instagram.
There you go. All right. Well, let's. Did we introduce ourselves? Or
No, I am Brian Manning, or Tag Champ Brian on social media. We suck at this.
Yeah, still after almost 100 episodes. And I am Edward Freda, also known as Edward Draw Stuff.
I'm Elisa, aka Rerex. First name basis.
And we have a
And-
special guest today.
Should I introduce myself?
Yes, yes, you can.
Everyone.
It's not awkward.
I am Diego, aka Superday Brand. Thanks for having
Awesome.
me, guys.
Hey, thanks for being here.
Thanks for joining us.
welcome.
Thanks for ditching
course,
your
of
podcast to
course.
join the winners.
Oh, we
wait,
got some tea on that. We got some tea on
The
that.
wiener circle.
What?
Well, I guess it's known that your guys' podcast ended. Obviously,
Yeah,
Brian
yeah.
wasn't watching.
I wasn't
Or listening.
watching. I wasn't watching.
I didn't notice the haircut until this time, so we're even.
We're
It's
even.
even.
We're even. Yeah, we ended. We had one episode in season 2, and then we have officially ended. Nothing like crazy
No
happened. It
falling
was just
out or
kind of
anything, right?
no
Just
falling
like,
out or
okay,
anything. It was just we needed to focus. Like we all wanted to focus on other things.
good
and stuff,
because
so.
I don't like picking sides. So
But you'd be on my side.
I'd be,
Uh,
Yeah,
I'm that-
screw
I'm
Soul
the,
Brush. I'd be on your side.
No.
I'm kidding.
I'm the guy that carries a badge because I cop out and say I'm on everyone's side.
Oh, you ride the fence, yeah. I'm
Yeah.
a fence rider
Look,
too.
it's Brittany.
Hey, here.
What's happening, Brittany?
Didn't want to join us on the show. Just wanted to.
Speaking
talk
of podcast breakups,
Bad falling out podcast breakups.
I'm kidding. Love you, Brittany.
Oh, she's at the gym. Okay.
Getting buff. That's cool.
That's where Alan usually joins us when he's at the gym.
So he never joins us. So that means he's never
No,
at the gym.
all the few episodes he's been in, he's been at the gym on the treadmill.
Okay. Well, I guess we could get going. I mean, I'm sure we talked covered a little bit on the last time you were on the podcast, but that episode was just chaotic.
Yeah.
So when you get
Sorry again about that.
when you get a bunch
Oh,
of
no, it
12-year-olds
was
in
fun. It was
the
actually
room,
fun.
it's not going to be good. So
It was a fun episode.
You can't get anything done.
yeah. So do you want to give us a little background on like your relationship with art, or is that the right way to put it?
Yeah, the relationship with art.
Or
Art
just
and
your
I-
art background in general?
Yeah, we're not exclusive. We're seeing other people, but we art. Yeah, so I guess I don't know how far back to go, but I started art / like just drawing. I'm gonna have to draw while I talk, right? Crap.
Oh yeah.
That's that's the goal.
Magma's hitting
That's the
right
goal.
Yeah.
That's the
Okay.
goal.
now. I never do it, so you're okay.
You never
Can I-
do it. No, actually, you've been doing it like the
I have been
past few
drawing
times.
lately.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, so yeah, I'm gonna do my best to. I'm gonna claim this little corner over here.
All right.
Watch out,
Um,
so she'll just draw right on top of you. So
I do that sometimes. Yeah. Sorry. What?
I've seen that, like the one with your zombie robot one,
I know
and
everyone
you
hates
drew
me.
like a T-Rex, like that was.
Oh,
that was
yeah.
cool. That was fun. Yeah, so art. I started drawing just kind of like a classic story of like drawing stuff that I liked when I was a kid. I used to draw like a lot of like Pokemon cards, just kind of looking at them and trying to trying to copy it like as I was looking. And then I did that for like a while, plus like Dragon Ball Z, even though I wasn't allowed to watch Dragon Ball Z when I was a kid,
What?
which is weird
Just
because
banned
it
from.
was
That's a story in itself.
Right?
because it was demonic. And
Well,
so-
okay,
Man.
that's the story.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I wasn't allowed to watch Dragon Ball Z. But anyways, like I even remember for one of my birthdays, someone gave me like a box set of VHS Dragon Ball Z VHSs.
Did you have to
And
hide it
we-
like porn?
No,
a
so my
box of
parents-
porn.
Hide it under his porn just in case the parents found that.
The crazy thing about it is my parents knew about it, right? Because I got it, I like opened it like at my birthday party, and we were
yeah.
able to watch it that night, right? So like we watched it that night, and then I have no idea what like then they just disappeared.
Oh,
And I've
They
no-
let you
I've
watch
no
it in front of
idea.
people to not be weird.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
You didn't want you
And
to
I-
be that weirdo.
And I never saw them again, and I have no idea
Oh.
what happened to them.
Oh, that's
So-
so. You never asked
But-
them, like, hey, remember Dragon Ball Z?
I don't know. Like I think maybe I don't like it. Just time went by, and I was like, wait, where did those Dragon Ball Z VHSs go? And yeah, I just never saw them again. So I think
Oh man.
You were
I
robbed.
think my parents were like you were saying, trying to be the cool parents, and then they were just like, nah.
Right, they didn't want to show how strict they were on you, so they're like,
friends are around.
They're like,
and
we're a
they
cool
watch it.
family.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so
Nope.
cool. Yeah. I'm just gonna put them over here. Well, you can watch them later. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
anyways, that's kind of like how I got started doing art. Was just like drawing stuff that I liked, Pokemon cards, Dragon Ball Z characters, doing that like super stiff pose, like arms to the side, like way too many muscles, and just like doing the Vegeta hair like sticking up and stuff.
Classic.
And then
Are you on
and
my
then
Instagram right now? What? What's going on?
Right? Stiff poses. I'm king
That's
of
my
stiff
Big
poses.
arms, stiff poses, Vegeta hair.
that's my shit. Yeah, so then but then after like as I got a little bit older, I actually just kind of stopped drawing altogether.
Oh,
Like
Oh no.
oh, hey JFC.
Yeah.
Yeah, I stopped drawing for like 20 years.
Whoa,
20
wow.
That's,
Jesus Christ.
I have so many questions.
Yeah.
Why? First of
20
all, why?
years. I mean, Elisa took a year off at the most.
Dude, that was like 2 years, 3 years.
No.
Wow,
Yeah, so
20
I
years.
straight up just stopped. There was something that had like something in my mind kind of, I don't know if clicked is the right word. I guess it wouldn't be clicked, but like something in my head was just like, you're not a good artist.
oh,
Like
Aw.
you're not good at drawing. And
Yeah.
I don't know what it was, if it was somebody, kind of hinted at that, or if I don't know what it was, but something kind of in my head was just like, you're not really a great drawer. And then I like kind of started growing up and getting like having different interests and things like that too. So it was literally not until I'm 33 now. So it was actually not until I turned about 30, like I was in my 30s
Wow.
again, that I
Oh.
picked up drawing.
So what were you
Uh,
doing like during this 20-year gap? I mean,
He was a
Did you-
normie.
oh wow.
I was a normie, yeah.
oh, sounds like a harsh existence. Oh, I'm sorry.
I was
Normies.
I was a normal person who had normal emotions and feelings and didn't take it out on drawing and stuff. And I was a well-adjusted human. That's what I was.
Ah.
Looks like a lot
Artist-
of people are shouting out at Diego here. Are you gonna start streaming?
Yeah, look at that.
I've been getting that question. No.
He's like, no, no.
That's the short answer.
But Brittany seems pretty sad for your not drawing.
Your
for 12
hiatus.
years.
Yeah,
Right.
that's rough.
I know.
But, I mean,
know.
was there some sort of like just like catalyst or that like, hey, that's cool. I think I can do that type of deal, or
You mean for me stopping or for
no,
me?
for restarting? Because sometimes it just takes a little spark to get that engine going again.
Yeah. So honestly, what it was like. Well, to go back a little bit again, so somewhere down the line, I kind of decided for myself, or someone told me or something, that I just wasn't a good enough artist, and that kind of messed with my self-esteem or whatever was the case. Like, just kind of, again, I was just like, man, I'm just not good enough to do art. And so I kind of grew up not doing that, kind of put that stuff down, went to school for just like random, didn't know what I wanted to do, communications kind of major in school.
Oh wow.
And then it kind of took me, like, I met my wife. My wife's from Brazil, and like my family is Brazilian, and so I met my wife, back in Florida when I was living there. That's where I was raised, and so while we were dating, she ended up, like, she was here in the States, but then she ended up having to go back. She had some family stuff, and so I actually decided to go back to Brazil to kind of just like continue dating her, because we didn't want to do full time.
So you moved to Brazil. You moved to Brazil for her.
Yeah. So I moved to
Wow.
Brazil for
Good for you.
about a
Wow.
year.
That's love right there.
And so then so I moved to Brazil, again, just because, like, we tried doing long distance for a while, and that's just so whack. Like, you can't do that. And so then when I was there, her brother was kind of starting a design agency.
Oh,
Her
wow.
brother messes around a lot with marketing and stuff. He has like a PhD and stuff now, and he was starting a design agency, and he was kind of like, hey, do you want to help me design like brand identities and things for clients? And I was like, yeah, I mean, I know Photoshop from like high school. Like, that's as much as I know. So then I picked up Photoshop again, and like learned Illustrator and stuff.
Wow.
To help him out there. But then that's kind of where I got like that sort of, the reason I'm bringing that up is because it kind of brought in that, like, that kind of desire to be creative again.
Mhm.
And I call graphic design kind of, maybe people won't like this, or I don't know if you guys can relate, but it's kind of like, it's kind of art adjacent in a way. Like, it is artistic, right? But it is also like very structured and very like focused on systems, and there are like, a lot of rules to it and things like that. And so I was kind of like, oh, cool, this was sort of my intro to kind of being creative again, but then also not having to worry about whether I was a good enough artist, because Illustrator and Photoshop would do a lot of the work for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because these programs, you can draw a perfect circle, and like,
Oh wow, we're getting
it
rated.
helps you
Sorry.
out.
Uh-oh.
Is that so?
Yeah, we're getting rated with a party
67?
67. Oh shit. Well, welcome in everyone.
Hey.
Hey, what's happening, guys? Thanks for the raid.
An alien raid.
An alien raid.
No less.
young Khan. Do I follow that dude on Twitter? I believe.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that's cool. Welcome
Twitter
in,
or
everyone.
Instagram or both.
Look at these guys. Hey, sorry to interrupt. We just happen to get rated.
No,
and of
worries,
course, we get rated when I'm like drawing like the worst luchador ever.
Oh.
But I'll get it going.
Yeah, you'll get it going.
I'll get it going. I just gotta trust my instincts. What did Soulbrush say? I bet you it's about feet. I bet you
It is about feet. I didn't want to
Sure
say
is.
What did
I didn't want to empower.
What's happening? What's happening, man? Obviously, we have the podcast tonight. We have our special guest, Superday Brand, and he's just telling us a little bit of his art journey.
I'm waiting for someone to say they took a big break from writing, drawing, and then came back because they watched Ratatouille and they realized everyone's an artist. Everyone can draw because we're all artists. Let's be real.
Everyone can draw.
I mean, I find I find truth into that. I find some truth into that. Like, I argue with the wife all the time. She thinks it's just like a natural gift.
Yeah,
it's a skill.
It's a
It's
skill.
probably a little bit of both.
But you can be like a hobbyist at it still. You can just have fun drawing.
Yeah. I just know I've met some naturally gifted people that just didn't use their natural gifts. And
Yeah.
I've
You
seen
hear that
people.
hard work beats talent if talent doesn't work hard. Like that was an Art Lambo special.
He's the unknown mascot. Of
Unknown
the
mascot that no one knows the inside joke.
Except me and Brian, and it's nothing wrestling related.
It's not wrestling related, believe it or not.
If he, young Kyle, what does he say? If you can write your name, you can draw. That's
Yes,
right.
yes.
I believe that.
Hey,
I
my
think
kid,
anyone could learn. Anyone could learn.
my kid
Anybody
can't.
can
My,
do it.
my kid can't even write in cursive. I don't know when the whole cursive thing stopped, but I
It's
found
not
out. The
Oh,
other
that
day.
was a long time ago, wasn't it?
Was it? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't
It
know
was
if
like-
my kids. I think they tried it, or started it, but I don't know if they actually do it.
Yeah,
I mean, I
exactly.
can't even front. I don't remember. Like when I try to do it, it's just like trash. But
Yeah, like
But
what am
I did-
gonna do,
I
read the
did-
Constitution.
I did know it at some point, though.
So for all you guys joining in, you guys are more than welcome to draw with us here in Magma.
Did you post a link here? Or is it in
Magma.
Discord?
It's in the
only?
Discord.
Magma.
But
You guys are part of Discord, right? You guys have joined the Discord server.
But I will this one time again.
Post it in here.
post it
Does
in
that
the
link
chat.
work though?
It's
Like, were people able to join it from
it
that
should
link?
work.
Okay.
There you go. So there's the link. So if you guys want to come join with us, come doodle, mess
Please
around.
do so.
Try not to draw any penises. This is a family program.
We're
so-
not a family program, but still, don't draw any penises.
Is
No
though?
one
But
cares.
vaginas all
Imagine,
day.
imagine a religion. No one cares. It's all caps, baby. All caps. But yeah, obviously, I see Rurax's husband was a Knights fan.
Wow, 5-1 nights. That's crazy.
I saw that.
I'm the only one that cares.
Yeah.
Are they
Um,
playing tonight?
They are, yeah. After a devastating upset on Saturday.
Mhm. I saw that.
That's the last I'll say.
I didn't even know we had an NHL team until their first season when they made it to the finals, and I was like, "Oh, is that what that logo is?"
Yeah, actually, we're
That's a
getting
big deal that
baseball
year.
now, aren't we? Like here.
Are we? I
I
don't
I
know.
think so. I think we might be getting the A's.
Yeah.
Wow, it's taking everyone from Oakland.
Yeah.
Sorry, people. If we're
Vegas
talking
is
about
new Oakland.
Vegas
Yeah, let's
sports.
switch it up.
Let's get back to Diego.
No,
Yes.
no, it's fine.
Super
that.
Day.
It's totally fine.
So so
We can
now
talk sports ball.
so like so I assume like on your you started after that, where did you go from there? Did you wind up working at a design firm?
Yeah, so I got into that. I helped my brother-in-law out. He when he asked if I could kind of help him get that started. So I like learned all those programs again, did all that. My wife and I got married. We moved back to the States. And then I was kind of like, cool, I can kind of do like a pseudo creative job and, and get paid for it. Like, I didn't know that I could actually do this as a career. Why would anyone want to do anything other than graphic design? It's amazing. And then I did graphic design for a while. And then I was like, and I'm
Yeah.
still doing it. And then
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I don't like this anymore. This sucks.
You learned about the corporate world fast.
I know.
Yeah. I mean, not that it's cool as a career, but I just kind of realized I was just like, man, this isn't what I thought it was, This
It's
isn't
it's definitely cool as a career, but it doesn't feel like a good creative outlet for when you want to express yourself personally.
Yeah. It didn't feel like it didn't feel like that it didn't scratch that creative itch anymore.
Mhm.
Yeah,
If that makes sense, right? I think I was trying
totally.
to.
I was doing web
kinda-
design for years. It totally makes sense.
Yeah, so you know what I mean, where it's like I thought that this was it. I thought that this was a creative career, and then I was
Yeah.
like, wait, this isn't. I there's more to like creativity than just this,
Yeah,
And so I am still doing graphic design, and it pays the bills. But then during the pandemic was actually when I kind of got back into drawing. yeah, so it actually really wasn't that long ago.
So the drawing obviously started before your podcast, which is your now defunct podcast. Yes, Soul Brush, why'd you break the band apart?
Oh shit!
No, that's not what I said.
Like, but that,
Those are his words, not
That's
mine.
not what
Oh
he said.
yeah!
That's
Before
not
you
what he said
came
when
in
we went
here, Diego
live.
was just like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
Soul Brush this. He had a foot problem.
He didn't
He
say
kept
that
talking
when we
about
were
his feet on the
live, but he did
podcast,
say
and he's
that.
like, I'm done. I'm
But-
through
Soul,
with this."
Soul
for real,
couldn't
though,
get
like-
over the feet, man.
You were doing, but you were drawing before. Like that's how you met the others to do the podcast, right?
Yeah, so then during the pandemic was kind of when I got back into it, but I was actually again getting back and I kind of got started. I started Superday Brand kind of as like a lettering thing, so doing like hand lettering and stuff. And because again, I was like, I can't do this art thing. I'm not good enough to do it. And
And that
so then
self-doubt is so rough.
dude,
hearing
it's
it. Yeah.
crazy. It's really crazy.
Yep.
And so that's kind of why I started doing that. And then I started doing lettering for a while, and then I was like, oh man, that creative spark, like, yes, this is like I can be creative like on my own terms and stuff. It's so different than graphic design. And then I was like, after a while, I was like, oh wait, this isn't scratching that creative itch that I wanted. So it was again me trying to like chase that creative whatever I was chasing.
Yeah.
And then I kind of started dipping my toes back into like illustration and stuff. And then I was
Where
like,
the magic is.
oh,
Oh shit! What's
This
happening with
is-
my camera?
Whoa,
Oh no!
it's raving out. Oh.
that was kind of cool. You should just leave it like that.
I mean,
Someone's gonna have a seizure, dude.
yeah, no, like
Yeah.
you don't hear from me. You just hear a thump on the ground. Oh no, that's crazy. I'm gonna have to figure this out. But
Oh, good Lord, this-
continue.
No, it's fine. So yeah, so then I kind of picked up illustration again, and then that's like where I met,
Cool.
this community and stuff. So yeah, so after 20 years, I'm back in.
Who
Welcome
have been
back.
some of your
Welcome back.
influences for graphic design or your illustration?
So for graphic design, nobody. It was funny because like the one thing too in graphic design was like I didn't go to school for it, right? And
Yeah.
so I always kind of had, again, self-doubt's going to be like a reoccurring theme here. You guys will notice, but it was that thing where it's like you go to school and people are like, what school did you go to? Like, do you know about this like famous graphic designer? Do you know about this person? And I was always just kind of like, yeah, of course I do. But I never really like followed it like that. It was never something that I like studied. Not that I'm
Yeah.
saying that you shouldn't study, but it was just, I never had that training and I never really had that, like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I
I guess
wasn't
that's
that
why
interested.
that's why I asked, because like from what you were saying, like you had no formal training, so it's like a lot of it you're saying is like kind of like just things that you've seen over time, or just like your own personal style kind of emerged through just you just like messing around with it.
Yeah. So like I was always kind of more drawn to, I don't know, I always liked a lot like funkier, kind of colorful aesthetics. That's always something that I was always a little bit more drawn to. Not so much the like I forget what the name of the designer is, but he has like a really, so you have like that what's the style? It's like really clean, crisp. It's like Swedish.
Mhm.
But there's a term for it. I can't remember. But it's that like really crisp, clean like typography, a lot of white space, a lot of negative space, which was like really trendy for a long time.
Mhm.
That was always something that I don't know. I was never really that drawn to that kind of style. Always liked a little bit more.
Sober says you love Chris
funky.
Doe. Chris Doe.
Yeah, my favorite, dude.
That's
Chris
kind of
was my favorite.
that's like a throwback to your old podcast.
Yeah.
Not that Diego hates Chris Doe. He loves him. He loves him.
We used to have a segment about like who I hated or who I was upset with, and I mentioned Chris Doe one time, and it's not that I hate Chris Doe's design. I just don't like the way he delivers his material. That's all.
Well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen, we have a special
Chris
guest.
Doe?
Chris Doe's in the house.
We're gonna duke
Doe.
it out. make a logo.
Yeah, we got
10
young,
minutes.
we got young Con drawing in here today. That's
that.
awesome. It's an honor. That's awesome.
We finally made it, everyone. Young Con is in here drawing with us. Next is praying money.
Yeah. But we're gonna get that jet pen sponsorship.
Jet
one
pens
day.
money. That's what we want.
Yeah. Stop shooting low. Aim high, Brian. Aim
You're right.
high.
You're right. You're right.
And then one day we'll be sponsored by the WWE. Everyone will just love that.
Is that the goal?
That's the goal.
They're like, oh, that's
the
all
goal.
they ever talk about. It's like, guess where? That's who signs our checks right now.
Vince McMahon. It's
Vince
gonna
McMahon and
Send you a
Triple H
check.
sign our checks right now.
This is a low-key wrestling podcast, just in case you didn't know.
Yeah, you didn't know.
This is the art
Brittany's-
wrestling
it's
podcast.
kind of hikey though.
Brittany says, "Yes, let's go praying." Praying is cool. They make watercolors.
They make art supplies.
I see
they're
them at
fine.
Dollar General. Oh man. Okay. So yeah, I mean, yeah, I think we've been following each other for a while now, but I have noticed lately that you've kind of come into your own as far as style goes. Has there been anything
Thanks, dude.
like connected with that? Did you have like some sort of like epiphany or just got comfortable with your style that you kind of just went full force with it?
It's a great question because I personally don't feel like I've found my like set style. Well, that's not true. I think you're right. I think I kind of have gotten a little bit more comfortable with like drawing the way that I want to draw and kind of not really worrying too much about like not that I don't worry about if it's good. I think like practice like is a huge part of it, right? And
Yeah.
like learning and doing all that stuff, but like not worrying so much about like kind of drawing a little bit more how I feel. Well, if that makes sense to you guys,
Mhm.
like less than like, oh, is this like perfectly accurate? And just kind of being a little bit more, I guess, trying to draw like more with emotion.
Yeah.
As corny as that sounds.
Nope,
But, like,
that
yeah,
doesn't
no,
sound
that's-
corny.
yeah.
That's my
Yeah.
sketchbook is a lot like that. It's kind of less about being anatomically correct and just kind of flowing
Yeah,
with
yeah.
whatever my hand does.
Just go for it. No
Yeah.
rules. No
Especially
Yeah.
in that
fuss.
kind of sense. There's no pressure to make it perfect.
yeah. So I'm glad that makes sense to you guys because that's kind of what I've been struggling with lately. Is just like there was something that I drew kind of recently that was like I was telling my wife, I was like, this is one of the few times that I drew something that I like felt in a long time that I felt like an emotional connection to, and it was something like, I was having like a really shitty day and like just I don't know, I was just like, let me just draw. Let me just whatever comes to my head, let me just like start sketching and drawing. And then this thing came out of it and I was like, I don't even know where this came from, but I just
That
kind of
art therapy.
yeah, I was just like
Yep.
it just kind of kept drawing and it kind of came out. And so that's sort of, I guess, Ed, is more of like with my style, more of where I'm trying to get to is like things that I resonate with kind of on a deeper level
Right.
rather than just doing just like, oh, I want to draw like a funny thing, even though I still love doing that. But I think with trying to find a little bit more of that like emotional aspect of it has really helped me a lot to just kind of be a little bit more free.
Yeah, it definitely shows. I've noticed like in the time frame I've known you, I can always spot out when an artist is definitely hitting those highs,
Yeah,
So
thanks, dude.
that's pretty awesome. I love seeing that. And Brittany likes to say, "You going hard on those hair highlights."
Thank you, Brittany. I'm glad you noticed.
And she also said art therapy. I guess heart. But it is. I think.
Yeah.
I know sometimes we can get down on ourselves about our art, but I think at the end of the day, it definitely has healing properties.
Mhm.
Like
Like
I would.
sometimes you just get into a meditative trance just drawing hair.
Yeah.
That's how I feel even just meeting up with you guys and drawing in person. It's it's
Oh yeah, that's always a
corny
lot of
as
fun.
it sometimes sound. It really does like
Yeah, corny.
feed the soul in a weird way
Yeah.
of like. I always say it all the time. It's like that feeling of like, oh yeah, these are like my people. Like these art people get it, and yeah, it's like a really good feeling.
It's a good recharge hanging out with
Yep.
other artists.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I definitely after we meet up on like the once a month artist meetups, I'm just re-energized. I'm just
Yep.
like I actually keep drawing that day. You know?
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's what I've been trying to find here actually. Like around here is like art meetups or like I don't know, because I know a lot of people online. I've met a lot of you guys obviously and Soul, Kyle, and people I was doing the podcast with. But I don't know, something about like a in person like art meetup just sounds like so much fun. And I haven't really found that. Not that I haven't really tried that hard either to look for.
Well, I
I'm
think
sure.
we take it for granted because, like, here in Vegas, it's such a small community. Like,
Mhm.
and most of us, well, a lot of us are in the same industry, like casino
Mhm.
gaming. So it's almost like everyone knows each other through one person.
And have the same kind of woes and a lot of like-mindedness there.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we all have the same struggles, like with our industry. Not to put it out there, but it's any job.
Yeah.
But that's cool. I mean, but yeah, I mean, hopefully, like you're on the West Coast. You're in California. Like, there's you don't really find any like artist type meetups or.
I gotta look harder for it because I know that there are. I'm in the East Bay, so it's actually I know for a fact that there are like art communities and stuff out here just from like Instagram posts and stuff that I found.
Mhm.
Or Instagram accounts and stuff that I found. I just need to make a bigger effort to like go
Mhm.
out and actually it's okay. It's hard to like make friends as an adult. Have you guys felt that? Like,
Yeah. Tell me
not
about
like
it, dude.
it's not like when you're a kid and you're just like, hey, my name is like Diego. What's your name? And then you guys are just
You
like
like Star Wars,
lifelong
dude?
friends, right?
Yeah. I've found that with adult friendships, it has to kind of grow naturally, and you can't just kind of like, hey, we're friends. You just kind of have to
Can't just make it
assess.
happen.
Yeah, you have to like assess people. It's like a whole. It's almost
You
like a
can't come
game.
in. You
Can't come in too
too
hot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
Like, be my
That's-
friend, damn it. I want like an artist community. I think it's easier to segue into
Yep.
that common ground.
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
I like most of my friends I grew up with, they're not artists, and I'm trying to think like how are we even friends? Oh, it's because we've known each other for like 30 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Time where the thing in common was like Transformers. Or,
Oh yeah.
The bond was formed then. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Cartoons. Except I never stopped liking cartoons. But
People
Don't.
stop liking cartoons.
you'll be surprised. There's
Yeah, they do.
as we mentioned earlier, there's these things called normies.
Oh, the normies.
These things.
Yeah.
These
Things
things.
become uncool for whatever reason.
I know. Yeah, I feel like I probably mentioned this before, but I think my normie friends probably think I'm just strange. I'm sure my artist friends
Good.
also think I'm strange, but that's okay. At
No,
least
not
my artist friends think I'm strange as well, but it's because I tell a lot of dumb jokes
in puns.
and puns.
I'm kidding. Josh is our resident pun guy.
Yeah, he's
Dude, I love
surprised.
puns.
He's got them coming, man.
Yeah.
surprising because he's so young.
Let me hear
and
him.
He's not even a dad. He's so young. He's got these dad jokes.
He was so happy when I posted that donut painting and I said donut touch. He was so happy that I made a pun because you know how I am with puns.
Oh
But,
yeah, you hate them.
I hate them.
You're a pun.
Do you
grunt.
really? Do you really?
No, I think he got tired of how Josh and I kept rapid firing them out and like kind of messing with the flow.
Soul Rush said,
Being too funny.
he says, I forced Ed into my life.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, I can't even remember our first conversation. I'm sure it was about art, but no, yeah, I met Soul through internet. I met Diego here. I feel like a lot of friendships I've building over the past few years. Maybe it's pandemic, um, but
Online art friendships.
I've definitely like got to know artists online better. Like I feel like I
Yeah.
kind of avoided that for a long time.
Actually really love that. There's so many artists that I see on social media and I just want to like comment and like say something to them and I just don't because I'm like afraid.
I
Like
know.
the person I recently did that to was Ryan Bolin.
Okay.
It's like he came out with all that, his personal stuff on
Oh, you never
Instagram.
talked to him before?
No, not really. I
I
knew
thought you
who
guys
he
knew. I thought
No,
you
it
guys knew each
was
other.
no, I just through like the industry and stuff, but after he
Okay.
came out with all that stuff, I sent him a message and I was like, you know what? Life is short. You might as well just like send
Oh, that's
people a
nice.
message, let them know like, hey, I really do like your art. Cause like as an artist myself, it's like it's always nice when someone like random comments and you're just like, oh, that's cool that someone likes my art. So it's like, why shouldn't I do that for other people?
Yeah.
But I
Mhm.
just
Yeah.
get like anxiety over it for some
Yeah,
reason.
Ryan Bolin, he's one of my favorite people. Like
He's a nice dude.
he's a really like down to earth dude, and I think we've just had mutual respect for each other's work for a long time.
Yeah.
I think the first time I met him was at a G2E, and I didn't know him personally, but I'm just that guy like just walks up to him like, "Hey, I know you." Like, something I wouldn't have done as a kid, but it felt like a kid doing that, you know. Like,
Yeah.
hey, I love your work. But he's definitely I'm definitely a big fan.
Yeah, he's a nice dude.
I'll have to get him on the podcast for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely.
He's over in St. Louis, so super talented artist. Makes me mad so how talented he is. But even better, he's a really good person, and
Yeah.
that's what I look for in like connections like with people. Like you're a good person, and like
Mhm.
it's just a plus that he's like super talented also.
Yeah.
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 um,
I always encourage people to reach out to other artists like that they enjoy on Instagram or any other platform, whatever. There's so many connections that I've made with people.
Mhm.
Well, a lot of people have reached out to me, but there are also a lot of connections I've made just from like reaching out and engaging with other people's art, like
Yeah.
sharing it. Not that that's like a tactic for you to like get somebody to talk to you, but it's just
It's
I'm a
just
huge
straight up
proponent of like
art appreciation.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
share people's shit if you enjoy it, right? Like it doesn't cost anything and it helps other people to like
Mhm.
see them and get hyped on them, and
If
it just honestly is nice. It just feels good, you know.
Yeah.
yeah, and
if I like and retweet something, I expect you to follow me.
Yeah.
No, I love sharing a lot of people's art because a lot of times it's the art, like art that I from artists I've never really seen before. So I'm kind of just sharing the inspiration that I'm finding.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I
Yeah.
just want people to know what I'm into.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, check this out. This is cool. You
Yeah.
know, Brittany says she was adopted in. That's pretty true. I found her. I found her on the side of the street one day in a little basket,
Just like her mirror.
just like a mirror. She actually came with the mirror.
The mirror, yeah.
With the demon mirror, the
The
six demon
mirror.
mirror.
If you don't know Diego, Brittany has a demon mirror. I think she's trying to get rid of it now, but you know how these things go. You try
You
to
can't
toss
get rid of
it.
the demon mirror.
Yeah. It's
She's
gonna be on the
moved it.
news.
Yeah, she's moving to a new spot. It's gonna show up on her front door like the next day.
I was gonna say that's not like a Facebook Marketplace type like listing of things.
Old spooky mirror for sale. Yeah.
Right.
That's something that follows you the rest of your life.
Oh man, just has like all these ornamental like satanic decorations around the mirror. And it
Yeah,
always
you're not
shows you a reflection of like just you looking evil.
Sorry, Britt.
you're not getting rid of that.
Yeah, you're not getting rid of it. Sorry.
Bunker says puns are awesome. No, they're not. We're
They
not
are.
encouraging that.
They
Whoa.
are.
Oh, hey, Bunker.
They are awesome.
If Josh was here, he could defend it, but he's not. And that's all I'll say about that until next week. I'll like give him shit. Oh yeah, another thing. Congratulations on making it, because I know we had this conversation recently that you finally had your art stolen.
What?
Oh, hell yeah.
Congratulations!
Yeah, thank you guys.
You're a
made
real
it.
artist.
That's validation in the
It's
really
a- it-
shittiest way
It's
possible.
the shittiest form of flattery, man.
It was a team effort. I couldn't have done it alone. It was all the support of everyone, and
What happened? Where did you see it?
everyone who
Yeah.
believed in me. So yeah, so it was I created like a little while back just like some fan art for a podcast that I really like called Threedom. It's just like these three comedians slash actors just like shooting the shit. But it's like hilarious. They're all like really funny people. And yeah, so I created some fan art for them that they noticed, and they actually, they asked like, hey, can we do merch for it and stuff? And so
Nice.
they actually licensed the work, like paid me to be able to use it, did merch,
Oh, wow.
and then the merch actually ended up on some other like scam
Teespring
website.
or something.
Not even, it was like an even shadier one. Like I'm
Oh.
sure that they have like thousands of people's stolen art up there. Like
Those
like-
Twitter ones where if you say I need that on a shirt, a tweet all
Mhm.
of a sudden appears with a link.
yeah, like
Yep.
it was like it's such a. They were both the same company, but it was two different websites. You could tell just because like the layout was exactly the same and the contact info and stuff was all the same,
Yeah.
pretty much. Yeah, so then my wife just did a search because she didn't know what the actual like merch website was, and so she just did a Google search, and she's like, "Didn't they pay you for specific merch?" And I was like, "Yeah, it was just for the shirt and the prints." And then she was like, "They're doing a lot more." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And then I went on there, and it's like mugs and sweatshirts and
Wow.
like baby onesies, and like
Ugh.
just went crazy, like slapped it on everything. And my wife's a lawyer, and so
Oh,
she was
how
like,
perfect.
Oh, wow.
yeah. She was like, "Cool, here's this cease and desist letter that you can give them." So I typed it up, and I had the cease and desist letter, and I emailed them, and they took it down the next day.
Like
Oh,
just
nice.
like that.
At
Oh,
least
wow.
they
Yeah, just
took
like
it
that.
down.
Well, for a good tip for artists, marry a lawyer.
Marry a lawyer.
Noted.
No, that's cool. That's cool. I mean,
Welcome to the club, though. Seriously.
Thanks,
yeah,
guys.
I think Brian's part of that club.
Yeah.
I haven't made it. I'm not part of that club.
Ed. I'm sure you're. I'm sorry to
Oh.
say, but I'm sure your shit's out there somewhere.
Knock
Yeah,
on wood.
AI is stealing from Ed.
I would
Hopefully
guarantee it.
not. Hopefully not.
I
But
wouldn't even know how to search. Like, I'll search weird monster with crooked teeth. Is that something? T-shirt.
you know what you do? You reverse image search. Your like throw something like your most popular thing in Google like image search, and then it'll show you all the sites that are scamming you.
Okay. Oh wow. I never.
All the sites that are scamming you.
I'm gonna do that tonight.
Hopefully none, but
T-shirts Lab says it happens all the time in print on demand. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
that's where I found most of the martial arts design that we did was back during the Redbubble
Mm.
days.
Dang Soups, you put a red dot on my purple king.
oh, I
That's from
did.
Soul Rush.
How about now? Just kidding.
Oh, and Citrus Cats is here. What's
Citrus
up,
Cats.
bestie? That's
I like
cool.
that Purple King though.
Is the Purple King your OC? Because apparently we're supposed to have all OCs in this group.
We have OCs.
I was
I
supposed
don't
to
have an OC.
Yeah, so
I
much
don't
is
either.
mad that I made an OC and just quickly abandoned him.
Yeah,
that
just
go-
kind
take
of
it.
dropped them on us.
How Havoc.
Damn you, Havoc. I just don't want to draw him. I just don't want to draw him.
Yeah, that's why I don't do OC. I don't want to keep drawing the same thing all the time.
I get bored. I get bored easy.
That's why there's no Ruraks.
Oh,
Exactly.
Peru axes. Yeah, that was a fail.
There's my little sister. Not for money, but I remember someone stole your art in art school. Oh yeah.
Like
That's
and turned it in.
So
as
you
their
are in the
work.
club.
Well, this was in art school. I had done this was actually a graphic design class I was taking because I was in animation, and
Ooh.
and I did this thing for like some poster for the zoo, and I guess like this graphic design major liked it so much she thought she could rip it off
Damn.
because I was in
What?
animation, so no one would ever find out. But she got caught, and
Well, good on her.
she was
that got caught.
actually like one of my. Was she my roommate's girlfriend? I think it was something like that. But that made for an awkward meeting. But like back then, I was probably too passive. I was like, "It's fine,
Yeah,
it's fine."
Yeah,
we can
that's
share the art. We can share the art.
Yeah, but
Was
yeah,
she apologetic? Was she like,
I
did
don't
she
remember.
realize like
was-
what she did?
She probably
Or was she
did, but
like,
it was probably one of those like half-ass apologies. Like
this is
I,
sincere,
Yeah, it's when people
sincere
know that
form
they-
of flattery?
they lied.
yeah, exactly. Just like shut up.
She's just sorry she got caught. She's not sorry she did it.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, either way, I'm sure she's not working in graphic design. So
Ooh. She can
what are
hack
you
it.
doing? What are you doing with your degree? Nothing.
Oh wow! Look at all this art on here. I just zoom out and
I know.
hopping.
Oh,
This
this.
place is hopping.
I
I'm
like-
finally glad I did something better this time.
I
Oh,
put-
that's awesome. I really love the shading on that.
oh,
Yeah, I'm trying to do more
It's really cool.
hatching because I want to.
It's so
Dude.
satisfying.
Yeah, I want to do more actual pen and ink stuff on
Okay.
paper again. And so I'm
T-shirt
trying to get
Labs
back
just
to it.
said he's putting 175 takedown notices at Redbubble.
Ooh.
That's a lot of work. You know, man, that just made me think how much work that has to be just to like.
You like just
Fine.
let them
Could be on top of it.
Just let 'em
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think you, Brian, didn't you have an instance where like someone famous stole your shirt design?
Yes, it was on Always Sunny. It's Always
No
Sunny
way.
in Philadelphia.
That's right.
There's a design where
What?
there's a guy doing a double leg takedown, and Mac is he wears it on a couple of episodes. It's
Oh my
that
God.
design on the
They
front that
did
just
it
says "Hell
multiple
yeah!" And we're
times.
like, "Oh, how dare
Wait.
you!" So we just started selling the shirt. We're like, as seen on Always Sunny, and it was our best seller for a while.
Wow.
That's when Brian knew he made it.
Damn.
Yeah.
I mean, in a weird way, that's kind of
Yeah, I mean,
it's flattering in a weird.
especially on like a TV show like Always Sunny. It's just like
Yeah.
that's not like
That's
a show that got canceled season 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty nuts, dude.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know if I say congratulations or
I am going to be honest. We didn't even bother sending the cease and desist at that point. I think we are just fed up with all of the designs being stolen. We're like, we're just going to sell the shirt.
yeah.
My sister says, "Whatever, Edward, you are not passive." LOL, fiery motherfucker. You know, the funny thing is, like, I had this thing I was talking to my brother about when he was here, but we both have very selective memory. Like, we don't remember anything bad that happened to us in the past. We kind of
Oh.
just flush it away or put it in that little broom closet in the back of our head. But I think it's a
Self-preservation.
it's a coping mechanism.
It totally is.
You know,
That's 100% what it is.
and like I think that's why like I'm still alive today is because this is how I handle stress. I just put it in somewhere else and poof.
It's like a
gone.
nice
Yeah.
little box in the back of
Yeah.
your brain. And one day it's
And
gonna
then
be
he
like
does-
that movie Falling Down.
Oh my
Right.
God.
Shit. Yeah, who
It's all
needs
gonna
therapy?
come up.
Who needs
Yeah,
therapy?
no, you need art therapy before you're falling down.
Oh, my
Yeah.
sister says therapy.
Before you realize after a shooting spree that you're the bad guy.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, therapy is right. But you know what? I'm gonna have to tell the story like after the podcast about
Uh-oh.
this. I have a story about therapy. Don't get me started.
Oh, so do I.
It'll be a session after.
Yeah.
It'll be-
Tried it, didn't like it.
We'll have this in the outtake Blu-ray release.
It's the Patreon.
Right. Let's
Put it
see.
behind a paywall.
Yeah.
There you go. One of the owners of Teriyaki Madness licensed for a post. I love Teriyaki Madness for a
Ew.
poster, and I sent him a password protected PDF. He got mad he could open it up to use for an exterior on his truck. Oh wow.
Do you like Teriyaki Madness still?
No. Well, sorry, E-shirt lab. But I'm thinking about food. Oh man. But yeah, we can talk about that later. But yeah, I mean, where were
But
we
just real
at?
quick, don't let Elisa and Ed dissuade you guys. Therapy is awesome if it works. Don't just
Oh, yeah.
discount it because of them.
Yes, if it works.
I'm not saying
Big
it
if.
works, but I have an interesting story like
Big
recently.
if.
Recently, I'm not saying it doesn't work, but sometimes you just have to find the right therapist.
Well,
Just putting it
Absolutely,
out.
yeah.
Let me tell you a
Yes,
quick
yes.
story. So
Oh, story time.
I had an issue with a former friend of mine who that's a whole long story because she's fucking batshit crazy. So I had a lot of issues with her, and I decided to go to therapy to talk about my issues. You know, like how they say sometimes like breaking up with a friend is even harder than like breaking up with like a significant other.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So that's kind of what I
Yeah.
was going through with her. So I contacted. I went through BetterHelp.
Okay.
And they pair you, you know, because it's like cheap, and they pair you with a therapist. Like you don't get to choose. And this therapist not only had her same name, she looked just like her.
Oh my god.
I'm like, how is
Serious?
this? I am not kidding,
Oh.
and it's like, and it's so specific because this girl has like dark black hair and like Betty bangs. Like not a lot of people do that style of hair, and I'm like,
Therapist?
are you? Yeah, the therapist, like same name, same haircut, look, and had the same fit. And I told my
100% sure it wasn't her.
No.
100%.
well, that's another. That's I mean, if you
So
do more of
you
the story,
so
it's
you
kind of funny.
didn't trust right away. You're
I was
just
just
like,
laughing because I was like, because I was always like very much like I don't need therapy. I can handle it by myself. And then the first time I go and try to do it, I'm like, are you shitting me with this person? And I
No
actually
wonder it
told
didn't work for you.
Yeah, well, it didn't work for other reasons, but I told
Yeah,
the
yeah.
therapist that she looked like basically like my abuser.
oh shit.
Oh.
And
Wow.
the therapist, she was like so nice about it. She's like, "I'm so sorry. Like you could switch." And I'm like, "No, it's fine." And she was very nice, but it was just oh my god, it was
Yeah.
what are the odds of that, man? It was
She
like,
should have
so weird.
offered punching sessions to her face just
Yeah,
so you
right.
could feel better. Brittany
It's super
says
weird.
therapy's great.
That's right, because Brittany and I are like the two mental health advocates on the podcast.
Well, like
So-
that's the thing. I
Not
tried
mental
like
health, but therapy in general, because
I've
everybody said
always
mental
been
health
like
is
open to
important.
that kind of stuff, but it's just
Yeah.
like, all right, let me give this a shot, and it's just like, just totally backfired. It's like totally backfired.
Yes.
So
yes.
I love therapy. Well, I'm not doing it right now, but I have done it for a while, and it's the best when you find
The right
the right
person.
therapist. That's like a
Yes.
huge
Yeah, I think
that's a
that's
huge
that's
part of it.
crucial.
I mean,
Yeah.
obviously,
Yeah.
but that's one thing for sure that like I had a therapist that was just not not my
Not the
thing,
right
you know.
fit,
Yeah.
not on the same
Yeah.
page.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, I guess that's the key factor.
Yeah.
All said
Yeah.
and done, it just keep searching, but this just doesn't give me any faith in the medical system here in Las Vegas.
Well, I think my
Yeah.
biggest beef was not about therapy, but it was insurance, because at the time I was doing it, I had to pay out of pocket and get reimbursed. And I don't know if that's changed or not. But I was spending like,
That's how it was with me. Sorry
Yeah.
to cut you off.
no, yeah, I was spending like a couple $100 a month waiting for a check. And I was like, I don't have that kind of money to be sitting around.
Mhm.
Yeah.
This therapy better kick in fast,
Yeah.
which is not the right attitude, by the way.
So I can
Like I
can
just need
deal
2
with-
more sessions. I'm good.
Well, what
'cause I
happened
can't
was-
afford it.
Yeah, what happened was the therapist was basically, I don't know if this is illegal or not, but she was just holding off on the payments until I got she would bill the insurance company, and then I would pay her from the check that they sent me. So she was kind of like doing like a net 90 kind of thing. I don't know if that's illegal or not, so I'm not going to say her name.
It sounds funny. That's
It
for
does.
sure.
Oh.
But she was doing it so I can actually afford the therapy. So
Let's see. E-shirt lab. Oh, sorry. Yeah, we're about the stolen stuff.
oh yeah.
Everybody's got a tail.
I had to fight with an attorney that merged out a design, and I had to fight with him for 3 months. I was teaching him copyright law. Jesus,
Jeez.
what is wrong with people?
Oh, he was a personal injury attorney. That's why.
Right. Oh man, that's crazy. But yeah, well, sorry you had to go through that. But yeah, I mean, is there? I mean, for people that have to go through it, do you think there's an easy way outside of having
An attorney,
attorney wife?
Oh,
or just giving up like
yeah, to
me.
combat someone's
Yeah,
feeling.
or should everyone have a like reach out
Just-
to? Could you write a letter yourself? Like,
that's the thing. So that's what I was gonna say. So we actually just, to be honest, we just found the letter online. It's just they have a lot of services like, and to be honest, like I think in this case it was a smaller kind of setup that the people had, whoever was doing this.
mhm.
And so when you get a cease and desist letter, they knew that they stole the art, right? That wasn't a surprise to them. So getting a cease and desist letter, I think, is just scary in general, and they rather not risk it.
Or they just
Um,
make as much money as they can until they get the cease and desist, and then they
Yeah.
move on.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, they're probably just like biding their time before someone
Yeah.
notices, and then they're on to
100%,
the
yeah.
next person to steal from.
Yeah, I've seen
Financial
artists.
leeches.
I've seen artists on social media just do a social media blast so that everyone, like all their followers, just attack this
Yeah,
person
I
that
remember
stole.
Loish did that.
Oh, did she?
It's crazy that Loish would even get stolen from because her art is so well known.
Yeah, she has so much power too.
Yeah,
I'm being afraid to mess with Lois. Like
Yeah.
it's like, never mind. I'm sorry. I stole."
It's but that's exactly what they do. It's not because like I'm thinking like how do they know? Like they know that they're gonna get caught, but that's the thing. They just want to make as much money as they can until they get found out, right?
Mhm.
And then
Quickly.
they shut it down or even shut down the website sometimes, right?
yeah, because I can't
So, like,
imagine
over the
that
tracks.
you're able to get money from the sales that they've done. I'm sure it's more just like, okay, just stop it now. But everything that you've done previously is kind of like, well, whatever now, right?
Yeah, they're just
Ye-
hoping no one
yeah.
sues for damages.
To be honest, like I don't know exactly all the details, Brian, for like your It's Always Sunny. In a case like where a syndicated like TV show takes your stuff, maybe it would just in general, maybe that's worth like actually going after the money. These like
I
smaller
agree.
Like,
websites
yeah,
and stuff,
the
it's not
money,
even
yeah.
worth it. But
Yeah.
Yeah, because every time they play that episode,
Yeah, don't do what we did,
Yeah.
people. Like, actually seek your damages. Don't do like us and just say, well, we're just going to sell the shirt too.
but you probably made.
What are they
some
going to do?
sales.
Send us a cease and desist?
yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Watch, they probably would. And we're like, oh, they're going to win. They're going to win
They're gonna win.
because they
all
have
these
FX
lawyers.
money.
FX money. Yeah, that show always bothered me because, like,
I love the show.
well, having a wife from Philly and like living in Philly, you're so particular about Philly accents. It's
Oh,
just
like
like
Delco?
theirs aren't Philly enough.
yeah, not at all. And it was like,
Yeah, because I don't
this-
think they have any accents except Danny DeVito, right?
and he's not even a Philly accent.
No,
I
he's
think-
just Danny DeVito.
yeah.
It's
if
just
anything-
a Danny DeVito accent.
Did you ever watch Mayor of Easttown?
no, I didn't see that with what's her name?
Kate Winslet.
Kate Winslet, yeah.
Yeah,
Like-
but she has like I guess it's like a certain area of Pennsylvania where that accent is really thick. Like I think it's called like the Delco accent. I had never heard of it before.
Yeah,
And now I like hear it everywhere, like from people. I'm like, oh, are you from the East Coast? And they're like, yeah, I'm from blah blah blah. I'm like, or like Delaware or something. I'm like, now I hear it.
Yeah, Pennsylvania has a very particular,
Yeah.
like especially like the further away you get into the suburbs, it just
Mhm.
it morphs into something else.
What is the Pennsylvania accent?
I
Like-
can't do it. I could kind
I
of do
could-
a South Philly one, but I'm not gonna do that here.
The oh, don't you know? That's in
That's
Minnesota.
Wisconsin
Yeah.
Or Ohio.
or Minnesota.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
more after the bend,
Gotcha.
going
Yeah.
northwest.
There's Alan chiming in. We made good money selling that Mac T-shirt. Like I said, it was our #1 design for the longest time. Probably still is.
but maybe you could make more money from
We
FX.
could have made more money, but
to this day.
then we
Did you-
got to be like fighting it and stuff.
Yeah. You're gonna spend more
That's-
on lawyers.
That's the horrible thing, man. Is that exactly what you said, Brian? Is that they do, unfortunately, they do have the money to fight this kind of stuff.
Yeah, they're gonna
And a lot of
bully the little
normal
guy.
people like us don't have the money or the time to like
Right.
do this crap. So
Yeah.
It looks like E-Shirt Lab's attorney guy wound up being a mayor of New
The mayor
Jersey.
of New Jersey.
Oh,
That's like I can't like this is obviously a story he's telling, but I can't tell if this will make a good movie or not.
Let's see. He was a podcaster for Adam Curry of MTV. Oh, okay. For all you older guys, Adam Curry was an MTV VJ. That's a
I think
video
you
jockey.
should go further. I think you should go further back than that for the younger people. MTV is music.
MTV was a channel.
It
They played
used to play
music
music videos
Used to play
24/7.
music.
before it played reality shows. Is it even on? If MTV still even around? They're still around.
I think
I
they
think
show.
it is all they play is ridiculousness.
It's just
Right.
ridiculousness
It's just-
marathons.
yeah, it's all the time.
Oh man, that's so funny. Yeah, I think every time I flip by it, it's ridiculousness.
Yeah, Rob Dyrdek is just making a killing in syndication.
He is. Let's see. When it played Music Channel, now it makes Yellowstone.
Yellowstone. Is
Oh,
that
I
the?
didn't-
I thought that
Oh,
was that's the Kevin Costner show, right?
it is. Yeah,
Is that on
Isn't
MTV?
there?
I thought that was like
No.
Paramount Plus or some shit.
I don't know.
I
Is
can't
there, some,
remember.
is there something problematic about Kevin Costner? I think I heard
There's something
stuff.
there's something going on. There's some controversy with him, but I don't know what it is.
Okay, because I don't
Oh,
watch
no.
Yellowstone. I think I'm just not the demographic.
Yeah, I don't watch Yellowstone either.
I heard
But
people
I-
love it. I heard
But I
people love it.
unironically love the Postman.
Oh, I guess he's going through a divorce.
Okay.
Oh, that's
Per-
okay. Unless he's
per
bad
the
mouthing
news
his wife.
outlets.
Oh, MTV
Yeah,
is
let's-
the producers.
Yeah, because I think I saw
Oh, okay.
something that this was gonna be his last season or something.
Okay. Oh,
There's
so
like
you watched
5
it.
spin-offs,
some
so
shit,
that
right?
shows
Yeah,
making bank still.
So you guys have watched it.
I watched one episode and I realized I am not the target demographic for that show.
I want to say I'm not the target, but I watched all 6 seasons of Longmire, and I don't know why. I
Oh,
wanted
You
to
must
move
have
to
enjoyed it.
Wisconsin. I wanted to move to Wyoming, not Wisconsin. I want to move to Wyoming, settle. Like he's a small town sheriff in a town where there's a murder every week. It's like, yeah, you're good
They're
at
like,
your
why
job,
does this keep
Longmire."
happening?
That's Rachel's dream is for when we retire is to move to Montana and buy a ranch. And I'm like, a ranch in Montana? We know nothing about animals.
And it like snows there like
Yeah.
17 months out of the year.
I don't know how to ride a
He-
horse. I
Well,
don't
she
know how to
came
milk
from
a
snow,
cow.
right? She grew up
What?
in snow.
So Rachel, she grew up in South Philly.
Is there
So
she
she
snow
don't
in
know
there?
farms either.
She don't know. She knows like the city. Like
You can Google things. Come on.
you can Google how to be a
You can
rancher.
Google how to birth a calf.
You picture me with a cowboy hat on a horse. He's like, yeah.
Yes, I can picture that. Now draw it, everyone.
Now
Draw
That's our new
it.
prompt.
Yeah.
That's our new prompt.
Drawing challenge.
Cowboy Ed.
I don't know if the guy's still there, but Alan and I watched this blacksmithing YouTube channel. Of course, it's blacksmithing that we're into. But there's a guy, Alex Steele, that moved from the UK to Montana. So we are watching him build his Montana blacksmithing warehouse.
That's hilarious.
I sometimes watch these videos of people replacing horseshoes on horses.
Right. On TikTok. I watched
Oh,
Yeah,
TikTok.
it's very
yeah.
satisfying.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah,
Have you guys seen those hoof doctor ones where like the cow would have some sort of like
yes,
cyst?
like an
abscess.
abscess.
Yeah.
Yep.
And, and it's just bleeding way too long. And I'm like, is that cow okay?
Yeah, it's just
gonna
draining
pass
from the
out.
hoof, right?
Pus, and I'm like, why is there so much pus?
Why am I watching this and enjoying
Yeah.
it? And I
But
Let's
you
love
know
it.
what? It's a different world.
Oh crap! I just got outed. Edward a cowboy hat is natural, born in Texas.
Oh my!
Yes, I was born in
Aw.
Dallas, Texas.
You tried to deny your
And yes, I actually
background.
had a cowboy hat until I was about 5 years old. But it was a black cowboy hat. So
Oh,
it
the
was-
Oh, so
villain.
you were like a baddie.
I
Yeah.
was a villain.
He's the villain of the piece.
Yeah.
Let's see what fraud. You're not a real East Coaster. You're a Southern Texas boy. I'm like, no, I moved when I was 5.
You don't have to go to Montana, Ed, because Alan says Alex Steele's back in England.
Okay.
I love Brittany's little 2D mushroom guy.
She
Oh,
called
that's
it
her
Java
jam.
mushroom. That's her.
Butt
That's her
cheek- butt
OC.
cheek mushrooms.
her
are
OC, I
That's
love
her
it.
OC.
Yeah.
Yeah, we really filled up the page today.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry I drew too big again.
Oh no, you're fine. You just hog up all the attention, don't you?
I know. I just gotta let me
Look
just
at me. I'm Rurax.
here. There's more room.
No, you're good. You're good.
Well, it's too late now.
Too late now. Well,
Undo that.
I
No,
think
no,
I-
no. There's
That's
there's
basement.
more room. There's more room.
So I don't
There
know
you
if you talked to Soulbrush about this. So is there any chance that you guys will ever revive the podcast? Because
We
I
took
like
some
listening.
time off.
I like listening to you guys, and
Thanks,
when I
man.
found you guys, I was like, oh, there's some other weirdos like us doing a podcast on art too.
Oh, they stole our idea.
Yes, E-shirt
Dude.
labs, you can scale in magma. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
No worries.
It's
Oh,
underneath.
yeah.
It's underneath the lasso tool.
It's kind of photoshoppy.
I think you should bring it back.
Bring it back.
I don't know. I
Bring it
don't know.
back.
At least probably.
Take some time off though if you need to.
Yeah, probably not in like the near future. I don't know. Maybe like down the line, or maybe something else will come out of it. You know.
How long did
Who
we
knows?
take our break, Ed? Before we came back as Art Pizza, it was a while.
It was a while because like COVID had popped up and you got sick for a while, and then I think I was just It was a while. It was like months, maybe 6 months.
Yeah,
Um,
we rebranded too because no one knows what Jurassic Mouse Claw means.
right.
That was a placeholder name.
Oh,
That
did you
we-
switch it to Art Pizza just because it had art in the name?
Yes,
Yeah.
that was exactly
No,
why.
no one knew what Jurassic Mouse Claw meant. And Brian, would
It
you
was an
like to
inside
explain?
joke. Yeah,
That's
in Jurassic
hilarious.
Park, there's a scene where the little girl's on the computer. She's like, "It's a Unix system. I know this." So you assume she knows computers, and then they zoom in on her hand, and she's holding the mouse with like this weird
Like a weird claw. Like,
Velociraptor claw. We're like, what is that?
that's the podcast name.
That's the pie. Well, it was the unofficial art group name when we were just on Facebook with, and not even on Facebook. We were just all of the other people at all the other coworkers and art friends, right? When we just drop challenges.
Yeah, those art challenges. When did you start doing those? Those were like
8 years
20,
ago.
2016? Okay, wow.
2016.
Yeah. it was
Dang.
over-
Yeah. I remember I
Wait,
did
so
a couple of those. Yeah.
Over 8 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
how did
So-
you? I don't think I know the story of how you guys got started.
With podcasting?
Yeah, because I
podcasting.
actually,
That's how.
I didn't even know you guys had one before.
It was Brian, right?
Yeah, I like Alan and I were on a podcast called The Atomic Mind Dump, and I got addicted to podcasting, so we made like 3 more podcasts, and then those all kind of fizzled out. So Ed was like, "I want a podcast and talk about art." I'm like, "Let's do it!" So we started way too fast because we still had the dumb name Jurassic Mouse Claw. That's how fast we went. So
I freaking
He-
love that name though. Oh my God.
Yeah, that's a great name. It's unique.
And Brian didn't know how committed I would be to it.
I didn't know. Yeah, I was like, "We're just gonna do this," and then we went like 70 episodes.
Yeah, and then we had the hiatus, then we rebooted, did like 22 more.
Yeah.
And so now we're like about 8, 9 away from 100.
Yes.
Wow.
So
Pretty close.
I don't know what we talked about this whole time.
That's a good run though.
Yeah, but and it started out as like an art, like the actual group started out as a weekly art challenge,
Mhm.
just to get people drawing.
In their
And-
free time again, instead of just always at work.
Yeah, it was mostly that because we were always just working doing art. We just needed something else.
Yeah, it's a bunch of artists across like 3 or 4 different casino gaming studios or companies. And we had done challenges like this before. Like we would just talk to each other and say, "Hey, let's all take a cartoon character from something terrible and make them look cool." So we called the cartoon Whack to Mac, and
That's
that was
right.
like
Nice.
that had like 17 artists all participating. That was like our biggest one, and then it
That
kind of
was-
fizzled out.
That was like the OG challenge.
That was the
Like,
OG challenge. That was like the 3rd challenge, I think, though.
That was
'cause one
like around 2005. I
Yeah,
don't
it
even
was-
think I
it
had
was a
kids.
long time ago.
Dang.
That's how
Wow.
old we are.
And the top two entries are both Teletubbies, like Diona and Romali did
Yeah.
Teletubbies ones.
That's awesome though.
But yeah, but then like pandemic hit and I needed social interaction. And I was like, Brian, we need to like do a podcast. 'Cause
Yeah,
I
we
need to
gotta
talk
talk.
to people.
And I don't know if you guys can tell, but I love talking. I love podcasting.
Absolutely.
It's not even that I love to hear the sound of my own
Perfect.
voice because I think I sound goofy, but I don't care.
You're fine.
Perfect art form for you.
Ed was
I'm
on a
happy.
toe hiatus. F you, Kenny. Whenever so much makes me mad, I just call by his Christian name, Kenny. Oh man, and let's see, this
Yeah, they
Was
were
it-
like, it was a weird show, like targeted towards like 18-month-old children.
what was that?
Teletubbies.
Oh,
Teletubbies.
Teletubbies.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's why they made. Yeah, Diona's was great. She turned him into like Grand Theft Auto, and then
Oh, that's
Ramali.
awesome.
Yeah, Ramali turned him into like demons that slayed all the cool '80s cartoon characters.
I think I did a Rainbow Bright one.
You did, yeah, you did Rainbow Bright. I think Alan also did Rainbow Bright.
I did.
Yeah, I did the Wiggles as the Warriors. And I
That's
still want to do
hilarious.
that again because I don't think I did it justice.
That would be a great shirt.
Oh man, but yeah, I think that's all I have.
Yep.
Is there
All I
is there
got.
anything you want to plug, Diego? You want
Not your podcast, I guess.
not your podcast? Or
I want to plug our defunct podcast, TMP podcast. No, I'm just kidding. No, nothing. I really appreciate you guys having me on.
Follow him on
That's it.
Instagram,
That-
everyone.
that's my
Super-
plug.
Yeah,
Superday
follow
Brand.
Superday
Is it
Brand.
Superday _ brand?
Yeah, it's got the underscore. I couldn't get Superday Brand, so I had to do that. Or I couldn't
Wait,
do
there's-
Super Day.
Oh, okay.
I was originally just trying to do Super Day, and then I was like, well, Superday
Oh,
Brand it
well.
is.
Are you on any other social media or just Instagram? Instagram.
Just Instagram. I was on Hive for a day, and then it kept showing me penises. So then I was,
Hey.
Oh.
Hive mind, am I right?
I
Welcome
was
to the
like, not
internet.
exactly what I was looking for, but
Oh man, Souls told me to like raid out again. Like he taught me the other day, and I'm just like,
Oh, did you figure out what is it?
I
Can you
don't
rate
even-
on Restream? Can we do that? How do you?
I think I could do it from my phone.
Oh, okay.
So I'm just like, I guess that's what I could do. But I think I'd have to do something in the comments or something. God, you put me on the spot like that. It makes me feel bad if I don't. Let me see if I could do this. I could.
I'm old. I don't even know what all that means.
You don't even know what that means. But I can do this. I can do this. I think I can do it in the chat. Oh boy. So I'm not. I can. Okay. Oh yeah. Soulbrush can do it. He's a mod. Jesus Christ. Just do it. I'm about to have a meltdown. But yeah, thanks for everyone coming through. Appreciate you guys
Yes,
stopping
thank
by.
you.
Thanks for all
Thank
the
you
new
for-
followers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good
thank you for
shit.
joining us in Magma. That was awesome.
Shout out to Young
Magma.
Khan. Big
Shout out to
fan.
Young Khan.
And the Soulbrush, of course, and everyone else that came by. So talk to you guys soon.
See ya.
thanks.
Bye.
Thanks, guys. See ya.
Hopefully he did the raid because I'm cutting it.
Rate it out. Rate it out, boys.
I don't know what that means.
I don't
Like,
know
what do we-
either.